Welcome, everybody. 2K Sports presents Major League Baseball Thursday afternoon with Gary Thorne, Steve Phillips, and John Crunk. Justin Masterson, the hitters will be planning their plate strategies against him. Can they figure him out? That's the question. And a supportive bunch, and what a bunch it is. 50,000 for this one. And we're going to see R.A. Dickey as the starting pitcher. Steve will be watching how he approaches this Cleveland lineup.
You know, with R.A. Dickey on the mound, he's an atypical knuckleball pitcher. He has great command. He throws his knuckleball a little bit harder, and it keeps the hitters off balance, and it makes it have late movement when it gets to the plate.
We've got a moment to check out that lineup for the Indians. John, who do we keep an eye on?
Well, if you see a blur on your screen, it's probably Michael Bourne running around the bases. The most exciting thing in baseball is when he hits one in the gap, because you know he's thinking 3 out of the box.
And our leadoff hitter, Michael Bourne.
For the Cleveland Indians, center fielder, number 24, Michael Bourne.
The 0-0 delivery, a fastball taken for a strike. For his career, 321 off R.A. Dickey. Here's the delivery. Bourne taking the called strike.
All the pressure on the hitter right now. He knows that he has to protect the plate in order not to strike out.
Hit foul by Bourne. And Michael Bourne will go down swinging. That's strike 3.
This one's right down the middle. He just swung and missed at it. Better check his bat for a hole.
Now batting with one down as Drupal Cabrera.
Well, not the season the Blue Jays were hoping for in 2012, but they had a pretty strong team at home. A 41-40 mark for them here in the Rogers Center. Definitely something for them to build on with this fortified roster.
Fastball in there for a called strike. Going back to the Blue Jays, what Steve was talking about, the problem for them last year, pitching, and that came to the forefront at home. They struggled to keep the bases clear, John.
Yeah, they ended up with one of the worst home ERAs in the league, bottom 5 in all of the majors. And when you can't pitch at home, it's going to translate to on the road, and that's why they struggled all season.
Cabrera will foul that one away. The pitch from Dickey. Swung out and missed as Drupal Cabrera goes down strike 3.
Let's watch K-Cam. Take a look at the two-seam fastball.
And I think last couple of pitches he faced, it didn't seem like he was ready for that fastball.
Yeah, he got some off-speed pitch the previous pitch, but you should be able to expect to get the bat on that heater, especially with 2 strikes.
And we've got Kipnis here. He has not hit well in this particular matchup, only 136 against Toronto.
And just hasn't ever been able to get dialed in against this team throughout his career.
Called strike from Dickey, and the count will go to 0-1. That swung on a liner here, and that'll do it as Bonifacio puts it away.
Now batting.
Here's a look at Cleveland's starter. Steve, he's got a focus here. Toronto hitters. What's he thinking?
Well, for Justin Masterson, he's a guy that has deception in the delivery, kind of slings the ball at the hitter. He relies on the movement on his fastball and the ability to get ground ball outs.
Reyes hits this one down. Kipnis the grab. And Reyes is set down. Chance now to check the lineup, this time for the Blue Jays. And our scouting report, John, who are we watching for today?
Well, I love when guys finally put it together and figure it out, and Edwin Encarnacion figured it out in 2012, one of the top power hitters in the game.
Here's a look at the defensive alignment for the Tribe. John, anyone in particular that we want to keep an eye on?
Well, it's all about size and speed for a guy like Drew Stubbs, who is always fun to watch play the outfield position. Covers so much ground. Unbelievable size, an unbelievable arm. This kid can do everything on a baseball field. So gifted athletically. His manager thinks that he has a chance to be one of the top 2 or 3 center fielders in all baseball in the coming years.
And that one's down. That's the first hit we've seen.
Well, he waited for that one to get deep in the zone, and he put a good swing on it. Now with 1 out, let's see if they try to move him along.
Now batting with 1 down, Jose Bautista. There's a swing and a high drive down the left field line. Goodbye, home run, Blue Jays. That puts them up on the board. And so they jump out to the 2-0 lead. Wow, what a great time for a 2-run shot like that. 1 down. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. And Steve was talking about the record of the Indians in the close games. 24-12 in 1-run games. That was near the top in terms of winning percentage, John, in the American League.
Yeah, right behind the Orioles, who were very good in that regard. And, you know, I think that's a testament to these young players, how gritty they are. 1-run games, they feel like, you know, we have a chance if we can keep it close.
There's a swing, a ball hit high, deep, straight away left field. Tell it goodbye. The 2-run lead is turned into a 3-run ball game after that solo shot and a great swing.
Well, for the Blue Jays, they've had no problem extending this lead.
Back up the middle. Great diving stop. Cabrera. Throw got him. That is one heck of a play. He makes a terrific play and a fine throw.
Well, this should have been a base hit. The hitter thought the ball was going through, but a tremendous effort keeping it in the infield and getting the out.
Now 2 outs. A chance here for Brett Laurie. There's a swing and a liner towards the gap in left field. And yet another hit there, seeing the ball well.
Well, you would have to think with the speed that's on first base right now that they'll put him in motion to try to make things happen here in this game.
And Lynn's batting. And Masterson gets him swinging for the first strike.
He says, I'm going to go at him, but I'm going to go at him away so that I can't get hurt. He just runs that fastball by him.
Take a look down there in the bullpen. They've got a lefty up and throwing.
Well, I don't see him coming in just yet. I mean, with a righty in the on-deck circle, I don't think that's the matchup they want.
And it's Arancibia coming up. Ball. Low pitch from Masterson. That'll be a ball.
Wow, he had some good bite on that one right there, but the hitter wouldn't chase it.
J.P. Arancibia swings and misses, and that count is even. Just 1 for 5 lifetime off Justin Masterson. Ball. Sinker that time misses. 2-1. Here it comes. Oh, Arancibia nailed that. And he drops back to the warning track to pull it in. They got a nice head start right there. The offense early. The Jays lead it 3-0. Chilly indeed. We've got a day at the ballpark more suited for a hot cup of coffee than the ice cold lemonade. And it's Nick Swisher at the plate. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. And it's 0-2. Swisher. Contact time. The pitch from Dickey. Here's a swing and a ground ball. Bonifacio fields it. 1 down. And Santana's in the box. Good season for Carlos Santana. Not quite the pop he had the year before. 19 home runs from the backstop. That one swung on, hit in the air. And Cabrera gloves that one. Out number 2.
He had the outfield swung around to the right that time. He had a long way to go to run that one down.
And Mark Reynolds will stand in with 2 down. And Dickey will get him swinging for the first strike. Here's a swing and a fly ball. That one goes foul. And Mark Reynolds is a strikeout victim. No contact on that pitch. It goes quickly for R.A. Dickey. 1-2-3. He emerges from the first 2 innings unscathed. And it'll be the Blue Jays coming right up. And Emilio Bonifacio to lead it off. And taking a look here, the pitch types that he's thrown today that have yielded hits.
Well, that slider of his has been hit 3 times here already.
I think he's got to adjust here. I mean, his breaking ball is not as effective as it needs to be, but he's got other excellent go-to pitches, and he needs to be more effective with how he uses his complete arsenal.
Ball 1. And Masterson misses. The pitch. Ball 2. Just off the inside part of the plate. 2-1.
Well, a good pitch right there. He tried to get one in on his hands, but he just missed, though, in off the plate. Great pitch.
Foul. Taps this one foul off to the left. You're out. Swing and a miss. 3 strikes on Emilio Bonifacio, and that will set him down.
Number 7.
He threw the sinker ball out of the zone and got the hitter to chase it for a strikeout. You need better plate discipline than that.
So with 1 away, let's take a look at Jose Reyes. Well, it wasn't like his 11th season where he was in the middle of the MVP talks, but Jose Reyes put together a pretty good year, his first and ultimately only season with the Marlins. 2 men have been put away.
Left fielder, number 53, Melky Cabrera.
And Melky Cabrera stands in. He singled and later scored in his last time up. First pitch on the way. Ground ball. And Swisher picks it up. And he's out at first. Good hustle by the pitcher getting off the mound.
That's a good heads-up play.
He knows he's going to have to get more innings like that last one and have some production to tie this one up. And Brantley's in the box. This one's grounded foul wide of first. Now Arancibia spots the pitch. That one taken by Brantley for a strike.
Let's see if they go right at him or if they're going to waste a pitch. They're way ahead right now.
The pitch from Dickey. Strike 3. Michael Brantley swinging right through that one. He's packing. Boy, a nice looking set of pitches that time. He didn't daddle around with the strike zone.
No, nothing wasted. Just 3 pitches over the plate. Sits him down.
Now batting with 1 away. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall. Just missed with the fastball. 1-0. And it's fouled off. Foul. And that's another foul ball. Strike 3. Lonnie Chisenhall looking at that one. That's a great pitch.
That thing is dancing all over the place. They don't have a chance. Even if they had a fly swatter, they couldn't hit that thing. 5 strikeouts today.
And we've got Stubbs here. And Dickey will get him swinging for the first strike.
Well, he likes to go to the junk once he gets up 0-1 in the count, so you better stay back.
It's fouled off. And he fouls off another one.
But when a pitcher throws a pitch out there 0-2, you're expecting him to get a ground out or a strikeout. But this guy just reaches out, puts it in play, defensive swing to keep this thing going.
He was able to ring up that K, and that's going to get him out of the inning. And they go quietly offensively in this half inning. Jose Bautista will lead it off. Big 2-run shot, first AB. Those runs coming against Masterson.
Well, maybe you got to.
Oh, Bautista got good wood on this. Goodbye home run. This game now a 4-run ball game. The solo home run adding to that lead.
You know, right now for Toronto, they've been exerting their control in this game by adding more runs to the lead, padding that lead, and which is their plan right from that first run going on the board. Great job of getting it done offensively.
And the catch by Brantley. One away.
Center fielder, number 28.
One down. Here's Colby Rasmus. And the first pitch. It's hit foul by Rasmus. That swung on, hit on the ground. Kipnis the grab. That's 2 gone. Now 2 outs. Chance here for Brett Laurie. Had a base hit his last time up. First pitch to him. Doesn't make contact with Masterson's pitch.
Goes inside with the sinker to try to tie up the hitter. Now let's see if he goes back away.
Swing and a rocket toward short. And that one is in there. His second hit today. And that will bring Adam Lynn to the plate.
They tried to go down with that 0-1 pitch, but it gets blasted right back for the base hit.
But the way he went after that in the box, Steve, it looked like he might have been guessing down there.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have to make contact behind in the count. He got a pitch over the heart of the plate and took advantage of it.
I love watching Adam Lynn, Gary. This guy can do it all with the bat in his hand. Really doesn't have a position, but what he does, though, is hit the baseball with power to all fields. Look for him to go deep in this one.
He's 1 for 1 so far. That one goes foul. And they pitch out. Nobody's moving. He swings and drives this one. Bourne will field. And he's there to retire the side. So they pick up a run on the home run and add to their lead. It's the Blue Jays by.
Now coming back.
So Michael Bourne leading it off. First time up, he didn't have much luck. Struck out swinging against Dickey.
Well, that knuckler just kind of floated right by him the last time. Had great dancing movement on it. He wasn't anywhere close to it. You got to believe he's seeing it again.
Well, when he goes to that pitch, it is just jumping out of his hand. And right now, nobody in this lineup has been able to pick it up or do much of anything when they've seen it come their way.
And that catches the outer half for a strike.
Look, they haven't scored or gotten a hit, and we're in the 4th inning right now, and they've got to really reconsider their approach at the plate as we move through the lineup the second time around.
Good movement to the knuckler, 1-2. And a moment here to see how this pitcher has been mixing up his pitches.
Well, one pitch we've seen a lot of is that 4-seamer. Seems to me like he's relying on that way too much.
You know, John, you're right. The pitch I'd like to see him utilize more is the 2-seam fastball. Get some movement on it and try to get it off the center of the bat. The knuckleball's dancing. It's over the plate, but moving so much he just couldn't center it. Struck him out.
And Cabrera settles in. Strike one! Perfect so far. 1 for 1 off R.A. Dickey. And this at bat already 0-1. First pitch was a strike.
One of the lone bright spots for the Mets last year was R.A. Dickey and his performance winning the Cy Young Award. Incredible stats, and even with his age, a real force for the Mets.
Here's the delivery. Cabrera will foul that one away. We're talking about R.A. Dickey, a late bloomer as far as the age in his career. But boy, did he pick it up here at the tail end of this career. This knuckleball has made him famous.
It's made him famous, but it's a different knuckleball than any I've ever seen because he throws it so hard. I mean, he throws it in the 80s, which is, when you're a hitter, it's unfathomable that something can go that fast and move that much. And R.A. Dickey is still perfecting that pitch. He's just going to get better to me as the years go on.
Here's a swing and a fly ball to right center. This one to Rasmus. Roams over, puts it away.
What an overpowering performance, retiring 11 in a row over the past 3+ innings. This lineup is stymied.
So a chance here for Jason Kipnis with 2 down.
I don't think I've ever seen the ball move this much from Dickey. Boy, does he look good out there.
How's he getting these first pitches across? Well, let's take a look.
Well, working ahead is paying off for him. He's retired 8 hitters in this game after throwing a first pitch strike.
1-0 pitch is a floater in there, 1-1.
Well, this guy relies on movement. Why? Because he's a knuckleball pitcher, and that ball doesn't do anything but move.
1-1 pitch is a knuckleball. Take it for a strike. 1-2. And Steve, on that knuckler, even though the hitters know it's coming, it is so erratic, you don't make good contact.
Well, the one good thing about a knuckleball pitcher, though, is it's not very taxing on the arm, so he can log more innings and protect the bullpen.
Out. He'll throw on to first, and that'll do it for this half inning. You could not ask for a better 4 innings so far. Everything's working.
A dozen up.
Now coming to bat for the Toronto
He has to be happy with the work on the mound, especially that last inning. Insurance run so important. And it's Arancibia coming up.
Strike one.
And the Masterson pitch is in there. It's a strike 0-1. Steve, what are the numbers for him on the mound today?
How's this righty doing it? Well, he's getting a lot of ground ball outs, and it's because they just cannot seem to stay behind the ball. They keep hitting the top of the ball.
Strike two.
0-1 is a sinker in there. Called strike.
Well, with a couple strikes on him, Gary, I'm going to go right at him with a slider now. He struggles with that pitch.
Here's the pitch. That one swung on and hit. Brantley's going to play it. It's caught. Emilio Bonifacio batting now. 1 away. 0 for 1 so far. Change that if he can get a hit off Masterson.
That swung right over the top of that sinker in his last at bat. You got to believe, as a pitcher, you've got to go back there again.
Ball 1 started off the at bat. It's 1-0.
Well, you saw the catcher right there setting up inside, and the pitcher just missed off the plate. Still a pretty good pitch, though.
Number 7.
So Jose Reyes will try and keep it going. And here's a quick summary of how this guy's mixing up his pitches. How's he doing?
Well, the one thing I think compared to what we normally see from him is today he's really relying on that slider.
You know, we're seeing him mix up his pitches, and he's throwing some pitches more than he normally does. But when he's doing that, it means he's throwing his best pitch less. He needs to go to that sinker.
This one's towards Brantley. That's caught. Side is retired. So,
Stepping up to the plate.
and for those of you catching up with us, hi. I'm Gary Thorne along with John Kruk and Steve Phillips, bringing you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. Nick Swisher.
Oh.
0-1 the delivery from Dickey.
Strike two.
And it's 0-2. Swisher. Contact time.
But Gary, as we move through the middle part of this ball game right now, they just cannot mount any offense at all. No hits. And I'll tell you what, this pitcher is just shutting them down.
Bonifacio fields it.
You're out.
That's 1 away.
This lineup can't figure him out at all. 13 consecutive batters going back to that dugout without any luck.
And Santana's in the box. Flew out last time. And here's the first one.
Strike one.
He watches Dickey's pitch go by. Well, it's truly been a tremendous day on the mound for this man. Here's a breakdown of how he's been mixing up his locations, using that to his advantage.
I really like what we've seen from him. He's moved the ball up and down, in and out, changing the eye level of the hitters.
And you got to do that. I mean, you think about his strategy, and his success today is a testament to how important it is to mix up your location.
Good movement to the knuckler. 1-2.
Well, I'm going out of the zone right now, Gary, trying to get him to chase something rather than giving him a good pitch to hit.
You're out.
Well, he can't even time or even get close to timing that. Out number 2.
But Gary, that's a great pitch right there. Great command and control, hitting his spot down and in. That makes it real tough on the hitter.
And Mark Reynolds. Hitless, 6 career at-bats against R.A. Dickey.
You're out.
And he's out at first. What an out. Save your arm. Do it by pitching only 8 times in 1 inning, 3 outs.
Stepping up to the plate.
And Melky Cabrera up. He'll lead off for the home team here in the home half of the 5th. Hit in the air to left center. This one's towards Brantley. And he meanders over to put it away. And it's Jose Bautista in the box now.
Well, the season cut short for Jose Bautista in 2012. Only able to play in 92 games due to injury. His offensive impact, not what it had been previously.
We'll see what he sees first here. And Masterson's wide with that. That's going to be a ball. You know, going back to Bautista, he started the year just like any other home runs coming the way through June. But in July, a wrist injury, a fly ball. Bourne will field. Able to glide over. Not much of a problem on that one. Where's Edwin Encarnacion with 2 down? A terrific talent here for this team. And he throws the first one. That one swung on and hit. Brantley's going to play it. This one to Cabrera. That's caught. Side is retired. No strikeouts. The thoughts of a manager, one can only speculate, but at this point, you got to believe he's got some words for that next practice. And Brantley's in the box. And leading off the 6th inning, we start it with a 1-0 count.
You know, I know we're not supposed to say anything about no-hitters, so I would never say anything about that, Gary. But
don't worry.
You know, I don't think they have any hits here. We're, you know, moving through the middle part of the ballgame.
The 1-1. 1-1 pitch is a knuckleball. Take it for a strike. 1-2. Now a moment here to look at the quality strikes this pitcher's been throwing here today. Boy, he has thrown a ton of them. Quality pitchers, quality strikes. That's the kind of performance we're seeing.
When you're pitching as well as he has, you got the confidence factor on your side. We've seen him stay out of the middle of the plate, and that's important.
Well, their plan coming into this game to attack this lineup is really paying off right now. They can't seem to do anything with him.
Now batting with 1 away, here's Lonnie Chisenhall. Taking a look, he struck out. Look, this is swung on, lifted to deep right field. This one to Bautista as he retreats back for it and gets the out. I'll tell you something, Steve. He keeps pitching like this, the murmurs are going to start.
Well, you can hear the chatter in the stands right now. People starting to recognize a lot of zeros up on that scoreboard.
And we've got Stubbs here.
Strike 1.
Called strike from Dickey, and the count will go to 0-1.
Well, it looks like it's over the heart of the plate, and then it sinks down and in. You give up on it, and he still gets the strike.
Strike 2.
And the called strike taken by Stubbs. Strike 3. Second trip through the order now, and nobody's been able to find a way to get one where they ain't.
Third trip through, and the hitters still have not figured out his...
Through 6 innings now, they remain without a hit. Still a shutout here in Toronto. It's Rasmus at the plate. 0 for 2 thus far. There's a swing and a drive deep to left field. This one's towards Brantley as he drops back and puts it away.
Well, as a hitter, you see the outfielder swung around to right field, and you have to think to yourself, if I can only hit it to left. He got it there, but it didn't quite fall in.
1 away, and here is Brett Laurie.
Well, Laurie followed up a great rookie season with another solid performance. Didn't quite hit for as much power, but he showed the ability to put the ball in play and hit some doubles.
And for Laurie, it was the shift to the leadoff spot. That one swung on, hit in the air deep to left field. He has to back up for it, comes away with the out.
Number 26.
And Lynn's batting. He flew out his last time up. Here's the first one. There's a swing and a smash. Bourne will field. And there's the third out. Not a lot of action in this half inning. Nothing on.
Now up to the plate.
So Michael Bourne leading it off. In his last at bat, struck out swinging against Dickey.
Boy, rough go for him trying to hit that knuckleball the last time, and he struck out. It's like he's trying to catch a butterfly. He couldn't even get near it.
Well, at this point, being struck out twice on that same pitch, you want to make sure you take that into account. Look for something else to hit.
Swing and a miss by Michael Bourne, and the count is knotted up.
I don't know about you, Gary, but when I look up at the board under that H column, the hits column, I see a big goose egg there. So clearly, we're getting into exciting territory right now.
1-1 pitch is a knuckleball. Take it for a strike. 1-2.
Well, this knuckler's dancing all over the place. It should have signaled its left-hand turn signal as it made that move at the plate.
Strike three, got him. Wow. One away, seventh inning. His chances keep growing.
Well, they have chances. They've still got some chances to try to win this game and break up this perfect game.
Now batting with one down as Drupal Cabrera.
I've believed this for quite a while, that as Drupal Cabrera is one of the most underrated shortstops in all the game. He does so many things well.
Swings at that fastball and misses. 0-1. You know, back to Cabrera, he's been in the majors 6 years. He's still young. Looks like he's still getting better each season. John, he's really something else.
And he hit
Hit on the ground. Bonifacio fields it. Out. That's the second out.
Well, he has great stuff. There's no question about that. And every time he takes them out, he's got a shot at something like this special happening. This may be the day that it comes to fruition.
And we've got Kipnis here. 0 for 2 thus far. That's a foul ball.
Foul!
And he fouls another one off. The pitch from Dickey. Struck him out to retire the side, and now through 7 innings, he has not allowed a hit.
But you keep wondering if sooner or later he's going to run out of gas, but clearly that was a net.
Problems at the plate. That's 7 hitless innings now. No production yet from Cleveland. So Arancibia will lead it off. Last time up, flew out. And Cabrera picks it up. Out. That's one away.
But going back through this lineup another time, coming away empty-handed, returned 11 batters in a row.
And we've got Bonifacio batting. Flew out last time. Taps this one foul to the right. 0-1. Masterson kicks and delivers. And that's another foul ball. It's taken by Bonifacio, and it's inside.
Well, and that'll saw his batting too if he swings at that one.
There's a swing and a ground ball. And Cabrera picks it up. And Bonifacio retired.
Well, he's in some kind of rhythm out there right now. Changing speeds, hitting his spots. Great command. 12 in a row.
And here's Jose Reyes. He'll be seeking his first hit right here. And Masterson gets him swinging for the first strike.
You know, his trends show that in 0-1 count, he tends to like to come back with a fastball.
Line fair down the line and right. And in there. He has struggled today. Now finally a base hit in the record book. And at second base, he's tagged out.
Now batting.
And so Nick Swisher leading it off. Last at bat, he grounded out.
Nick Swisher.
And he'll start him out.
Foul!
Hit foul by Swisher.
Strike 2!
R.A. Dickey now has him 0-2.
No runs, no hits. Deep into this ball game, Gary, and obviously he is pitching a gem of a game.
You're out!
Struck him out, and the countdown continues. Hold your hand up, folks. That's 5 outs away from this piece of history.
Well, if the next 5 outs come as easily as that one did, he will get this perfect game. He is just dazzling them with his outstanding stuff.
And Santana's in the box. 0 for 2 thus far. Checks his swing that time, but it's still a strike. 0-1. Now a bouncing ball to short, and Encarnacion in position. And out. Pitcher makes a nice play at first base.
That was a nice play. Saw the opportunity at first. Didn't waste any time getting over. That's the key. Beat the runner to the bag.
Good hustle off the mound. And Mark Reynolds will stand in with 2 down. He was set down with a ground out in his prior at bat. And Dickey will get him swinging for the first strike.
We got a chance for some fun today with a good knuckleball pitcher on the mound, Gary. As long as it's dancing, we could see some very frustrated hitters.
Reynolds isn't fooled by that pitch, and the count is evened up. And you are absolutely right. For these hitters, it can be very very frustrating if, in fact, that knuckler is moving and in the zone.
And that's not even to talk about the catcher behind the plate. He's got his big glove on, but the question is, can he get his glove on the ball?
Got him, and the side is retired. He's going to go back to the dugout. He is 3 outs away from a perfect game.
And watch, Gary, when he gets back in the dugout, everybody's going to leave him alone. They're not going to talk to him or say anything. They want to keep him in the zone.
It's Melky Cabrera to lead it off. Trying again here, just 1 for 3 thus far. And Masterson with the inside pitch. That's called the ball.
Well, anytime you're throwing a fastball down in the zone, especially down and in, the only thing a hitter can do is hit that ball into the ground. Good job of laying off.
Foul!
Cabrera again fouling it off.
Let's set that table now, Melky. Come on now, come on.
The 1-2 from Masterson. Swung on line to right center field. And in there, second hit for him in the ball game in his 4th plate appearance. That will bring up Jose Bautista.
Now this pitch just cuts right over the heart of the plate. The hitter handled it perfectly.
That's one of those where you've given in by making a bad pitch and really made it much easier for the hitter.
Yeah, he's better than that. Bear down.
He homered back in the 3rd. And this is a low and away pitch for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a fly ball down the left field line. This one to Cabrera. 1 away.
Now batting for the Toronto Blue Jays, first baseman.
1 down. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. You look at a guy who came out of nowhere and had a gigantic power year. Edwin Encarnacion surprised a lot of people. 1-0 count. He took that last one, and it was out of the zone. Those power numbers, Encarnacion, 42 home runs for him. Previous career high had been just 26. Steve, that is an enormous leap. And he hit 280 with 110 RBI.
You know, it's funny. This guy's always been a pretty good player with pretty good power. It looked to me like he figured something out a little bit. More patience, better pitches, and hitting the ball out of the ballpark. A lot like Jose Bautista, his teammate, did in Toronto.
So, up to the plate. Here's Colby Rasmus. He flew out his last time up. There's a ground ball. It's scooped up. Gets one at second. And they get it. They turn 2. Take a look down there in the bullpen. They've got a lefty up and throwing.
Well, I don't see him coming in just yet. I mean, with a...
Justin Masterson will head off. Not his best start. Pitching deep into this one, and that's good for the bullpen. And we'll see the Indians next. And Brantley's in the box. He'll start us out here in the last inning of regulation. It is a strike to start the 9th, 0-1.
Gary, in the 9th inning, has not given up a hit in this one, so we may be looking at some history for him personally and for his club.
Foul!
And it's fouled off. The pitch from Dickey. Gets him on strikes. There's one here in the 9th inning.
Hey, there's one thing to get a perfect game. It's another one to just keep mounting the strikeouts.
Now batting with 1 away. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall. 0 for 2 thus far. And the first pitch. First pitch is a slow knuckler in there. 0-1.
Well, this guy relies on movement. Why? Because he's a knuckleball pitcher, and that ball doesn't do anything but move.
And Lonnie Chisenhall will let that one go by to even up the count. And Steve, on that knuckler, even though the hitters know it's coming, it is so erratic, you don't make good contact.
Well, the one good thing about a knuckleball pitcher, though, is it's not very taxing on the arm, so he can log more innings and protect the bullpen.
Swung on and fouled away.
Well, a 1-2 count, that pitch on the outside part of the plate. Borderline pitch. You still don't know if it's going to be a ball or a strike. The last thing you want to do is take that pitch for a called strike 3.
Got him there. That was a nice strikeout.
You ever wondered what K-Camp looks like with a knuckleball? Here it is.
It's down in the zone, but it's definitely a hittable pitch. Looks like the pitcher just caught him looking for something else, and it threw off his timing.
Outstanding work right there, John. And for the rest of the lineup, maybe they'll be second guessing. A line drive towards short. He's out, and there it is. He did it, a perfect game.
One of the hardest feats to accomplish in baseball or in sports in general. An unbelievable effort, perfect stuff on a perfect day. Well, they treated their hometown crowd to a phenomenal pitching performance in this one. A big win on the shoulders of their pitchers.
Now, our player of the game, and I don't think it's going to be a surprise. He's got our pick in this contest. R.A. Dickey. He had his stuff and delivered in this ballgame.
Well, you know, they don't call it a perfect game for nothing. This is something that this young man will remember for the rest of his life. And everyone who's here has to have a feeling that they just witnessed some sort of history. And I know, never playing in one in my career, a perfect game, I'm thankful I got to see this one.
And we witnessed a pitcher who has put himself in the record book, an incredible perfect game.
I mean, you see history made here with this kind of performance from this guy, an outstanding effort, and they get the win as a team as well to move forward.
Great day for baseball here at 2K Sports. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Gary Thorne with John Kruk, Steve Phillips, and our great 2K Sports crew. We wish you a great rest of the day or night, wherever you may be in baseball.